You got to give me just a minute because I've got to get Simon Doull to read my hand and predict my future. Because he said that RCB would get to 217. Well, very close. They got to 218. I don't know how you did that, Dooley.
No, I don't know either. I don't know how they did it in the end. They were sort of looking like maybe 170, 180. Then AB and Moeen got going, and then right at the end, those two at the end are crucial little innings from de Grandhomme and from Sarfraz.
Yeah,
they're great little knocks to get them to 218, and sheesh, looks way too many, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Sarfraz almost went to the backstop again, like he did in Delhi to Prithvi Shaw standing there. Almost happened today, but Sandeep Sharma couldn't get to it. But that's a different story. We'll come to that in a second. Let's talk about AB de Villiers and Moeen Ali and their partnership. They were just fantastic, the two of them, going from both ends. You don't want to be a bowler at that time.
No, I mean, AB looked in the mood as soon as he went out there. Two fours in his first two balls. You know, Moeen Ali's a gift. You know, he's a wonderful player, and when he starts finding his range, it took him about 6 or 7 balls to get used to conditions, and all of a sudden he just planted one over extra cover for 6, and you thought, here we go. Next one was pull shot into the stands, and then Moeen just swings, as you saw tonight. He just swings, and once he's connecting, he's probably one of the best timer of a cricket ball in the England team. You know, he times the ball beautifully. It's, and there's many of them, but of the natural ability just to time a ball and watch the ball fly, Moeen's certainly right up there with the best.
Crucial time as well, wasn't it? Because they lost Virat early, 12 from 11 tonight for Virat. So he came out at 4, crucial time, and you've been calling for Josh Buttler to get up the top of the order, for Moeen to be given an opportunity. He's had that opportunity tonight, and geez, he struck it well after about the first 6 or 7 balls.
You look at Moeen Ali and Grandhomme and the way they batted today, and you think, why didn't you play them for so long?
Oh, mate. Well, I mean, Colin de Grandhomme should have been playing from day one. I said it at the time when they played Anderson. It was just the craziest decision. He was brought in as a replacement player, Corey Anderson. He hadn't bowled a ball, and basically when he turned up, he didn't look like he could bowl a hoop down a hill, to be honest. You know, it was tough, and he shouldn't have played. It wasn't his fault. There's no way he should have been in that side, and just shows you what de Grandhomme can do.
Yeah, I don't think the IPL teams realise. I mean, this is the first year actually that I would ever say that the IPL teams and many Big Bash teams, you need to get more English players. They play the white ball game now as good as any. They've got a group of around 20 cricketers in the UK that could all get into teams. They all hit the ball hard. They're all decent fielders. The bowlers have all got decent skill levels. You know, the England white ball team is not the white ball team that I played. It's not the white ball team that historically everyone knows them as. This last year or so, they are a serious white ball team. You know, and I've been surprised that there's a lot sitting on the benches. I get, a few of them sitting on the benches, but there's a few of them that I'm thinking, wait a minute, then he pushed up the other Joss. Moeen needed a chance. You know, his bowling's decent. His batting's just so dangerous. You're never too sure quite what you're going to get, but you know that he'll just throw the hands at the ball. Yeah, there's quite a few more should be getting more of an opportunity.
It's just a shame that the Big Bash comes at the right time of year. So it's a shame for the England players, and the New Zealand players probably the same sort of thing. The Big Bash comes around at the perfect time of year, auctions on. So if you go well in the Big Bash as an Australian player, you'll get picked up. And then that's kind of how it works. And they don't, the scouts and the franchises don't look far enough afield at quality players elsewhere, I don't think.
Yeah, because, I mean, England was playing white ball cricket in Australia around the same time as well. It was before the auction. So you know you have the option. Is it because they're sort of worried that they may not have them for the whole season?
But this year was a year that the majority of them, I mean, if you're a test player, you're only just going back now, so you've played the whole of the season, apart from obviously the most crucial stage, the qualified. But, this is the first year that they've been able to play the majority. Next year's difference, World Cup, I don't know how many of the players from all the different teams will be able to play too much, because I'm sure most world teams will want camps going into the World Cup starting at the end of May.
I think there is the regulation of there's got to be 2 weeks between the last day of the IPL and the first day of the World Cup.
I don't think any of the New Zealand bowlers will be here. I wouldn't imagine any of the Australian bowlers will be here. England will be very similar.
I try and squeeze it earlier if they can. I try and start mid-March.
They're starting the 20th of March or something next year, 23rd or 24th of March, I think, the IPL next year. But it still won't be early enough for a lot of those bowlers to play.
Well, today there was a few bowlers there who would have hoped that they were not playing today, because even when they played, they had very, very forgettable days. And you would when you have AB de Villiers, Grandhomme, Moeen Ali, all of them going hammer and tongs. And spare a thought for Basil Thampi. My God, the most expensive T20 spell, 4-over spell that has ever been bowled in T20 cricket by an Indian.
You're going to say it, or
well, I'll give it a go here because Basil Tumpy became battered scampi today and fries and extra gravy.
Yeah. No, some mushy peas.
Mushy peas on as well.
There was platefuls just being delivered. Where do you want to hit me?
But
let me translate that for those who don't know. They made a meal out of him, is what they're saying.
And the thing about this is the one thing that the Sunrisers have got, isn't it? They only use 5 bowlers.
Yeah.
They only opt for 5 bowlers. They do have options with Yusuf, with Kane Williamson, if they are desperate.
Deepak Hooda today.
Deepak Hooda.
Yeah.
Tonight was a night they could have actually gone there if they wanted to. You know what I mean? They're qualified. Give Hooda a couple of overs. They're through. And hopefully Boovi will be back and Basil Tumpy might not have to play. But just give yourself a bowl, Kane.
I'm not too sure we're going to see
Hooda
Basil
a bowl.
again.
No.
Yeah.
I think Basil
goes back in the spice rack.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, the Scampionships, I don't think we'll be seeing much more of that.
Yeah, that's not you. It takes a while to recover from 4 overs for 70. But then again, you thought at him coming in the 4th over saying, why is he getting another one? That's because they've just been averse to trying anybody else. They really should have done it today, as Simon is saying. They really should have done it. AB de Villiers, let's have a word about him, or more than a few words about him. His 5th 50 in the IPL. And as per usual, normal service resumed, 1 ball in the parking lot.
Yeah, that one out of the park was unbelievable. Yeah. He got dismissed by Rashid Khan in that game, the first game, the return fixture in Hyderabad. He was disappointed with it. You saw him a little bit more caution tonight against Rashid, and then just took the game. But he's, I've found this year, I think, I don't know what you think of Vaughanie, but he's been much more aggressive right from the start. He hasn't looked to play himself in. He's just been aggressive from the start, and that strike rate's 178, 179 through the tournament, which is...
He's just class.
Yeah.
I mean, he's... whatever format he plays, you just feel he's got all the time in the world. You know, the ball's delivered, you feel that he has a cup of tea, he has a cigar, and then he goes, all right, I'll play the sweep shot for this shot. And, no, I'll just dance down. He just seems to have all the time. Though. Again, Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, Kane Williams, all these great players of this era, like any era of the game, they just see the ball before it's bowled. Yeah. They can read the play. They have little indications, and the bowler might just change the action just with one little subtle change of the arm or the hand might. And these batsmen know. They know before it's bowled what's going to be coming at them. I know that sounds like they're all like Mystic Meg and wizards, but they are. They can just get more of an indication from the release point of the ball, whether it be short, whether it be full, whether it be a cutter, whether it be a leg cutter, whether it be... They just get the indication early. They're fantastic to see.
I think the only bit of disappointing in their batting was the fact that Rashid Khan's 4th over, they lost a couple of wickets there, but they should have just sort of played him out.
We were looking at that as we're watching it, and and I made the comment, but I guess I take Michael's point. It was the last over. They could have just worked them around for 4 singles and said, we'll leave AB and we'll leave Moeen here for the last 5 overs. But they didn't. They got 5 runs only and lost those 2 crucial wickets. And, I mean, your point was valid, I suppose. They just think they can play anyone and hit them anyway.
Well, that's the game these days. They in our era, it was right. Courtney Walsh is bowling his last over. Get him off. Thank you very much. We'll face someone else. Whereas this series, forget the name. They forget that it's Rashid Khan's last over. They don't care. It's like 6 time. Yeah. We're in. We're on 50 odd each. We're trying it in for 6s. There's no thought process of going right. We'll just get rid of Rashid and wait for Scampi and chips. They didn't want to wait for the Scampi. Obviously, don't like it.
They do like it a lot. Though with Rashid, never a dull moment when the ball's hit toward him, right?
Mate, he was 3 metres off the boundary when he dropped the catch, the first one, and then the second one he charged in and had to. So I think they said in commentary it was like Trent Bolt's catch. Well, Trent Bolt didn't misjudge his catch. Yeah, he took it with his opposite hand as well. He misjudged that, Rashid. He could have stood on the boundary and gone boom like that.
Really, I tell you, my little boy's 12, and I hear the coaches all the time. When you're in the field, attack the ball, attack the ball. So. That's all Rashid's doing. He's just attacking that ball full on.
Well, you don't want to do that in RCB with like a 40-yard boundary.
He's going for the nut. He wants to nut it.
In the last 2, 3 overs, 4 overs of a 2020 game, you stand on the boundary because if one gets hit and it lands short and you go like that, no problem at all. You've saved 3. You haven't dropped a catch. You haven't missed out on a catch. You've saved 3. But you do not be charging in from the boundary. I don't think at any ground, to be honest.
Shikhar did that. Shikhar stood his ground. That catch that he took, my God. That's a lot of yoga to keep your balance like that.
Yeah, it was.
And he's been doing a lot of yoga.
Those little trampolines that I see in the gym these days? That's exactly what Shikhar's been up to. He's been on one of those trampolines. Lovely balance.
Just to catch it like that with the ball almost taking you over and then
pirouette, wasn't
a little
it?
Natraj
Is that what they
pose.
call it? Pirouette.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Pirouette. Michael does a spot of dancing on weekends. He's not getting head massages and eating risotto.
I thought he was a midfielder for France.
Oh, well done. Like it's a Buffon joke again, is it? No, let's not go there. Let's come back to the Sunrisers Hyderabad. 219 is what they want to get. And they want to get it because they want to go into these playoffs with a little bit of confidence. You'd have to say that the last week has been a bit of a blotch on their quite seamless campaign.
Yeah, they've been away. We talked about it. 2 very good batting pitches, and they just haven't quite been up to the mark. So tonight looks like another good one, but it turned a little bit. So it comes down to me. When they're chasing anything over 180, it comes down to Shikhar Dhawan and Alex Hales at the top. They've got to get them off to a cracking start. Williamson can work it round. He can bat with other guys, but they've got to get them off to a flying start. I think Hales holds a massive key to
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to fire. You know, they've given him a good run in the side at the top of the order, as they should do, but he now has to return them with that faith. He's hardly really come out of the traps like I've seen him for quite a few years. I know he's been in and out of the England side because of various kind of problems, and then he was out the side, can't get him. Johnny Bairstow nicks his spot.
Yeah.
And he's done too well, so he can't really get back in consistently. But you know, he can strike a cricket ball. He needs to strike plenty tonight.
Yeah, and not just him. Because like you see with RCB, there was 3 of them who did that, 4 of them if you count Sarfraz's little cameo as well. So it's just one guy that's not going to do it.
No, and those cameos are what you need at the end. Like the last 2 or 3 overs, a guy gets 25 off 10 balls to win you this match.
Yeah.
They're not going to get 80 off 35 balls to win it. Guys at the top 3 are massive. They have to do most of the work.
A couple of 50s in that
Yeah,
top
2
three.
50s in the top 3. Manish Pandey is he's had a pretty ordinary time of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
He might need to step up at 4, and then those guys, if they require the Shakibs and the Deepak Hudas, if they got to get you 20 off 10 to win it, or so that's fine. But they're not going to. They can put the icing on it, can't build it.
Yeah, when you're chasing this kind of stuff, you hope you get yourself in that position. You know, get yourself in a position for the last 5. Even if you need 75 off the last 5, you've got a sniff if you've got wickets in hand and someone in.
And RCB in the power play is obviously going to unleash Umesh Yadav, right? Unleash Umesh Yadav.
Yeah, he'll be going for it, won't he?
Well, I wonder what he goes for tonight, because he's been more successful with the top knot than he has with the Ellis band. So when he's gone with so if you look for him, he goes to the top knot and ties it up here. He's been more successful with the ball when he's had that in his hair. When he's tried the Ellis band, he's been unsuccessful.
A stat you will not hear anywhere else.
Yeah.
Analysis that you can get only here. It makes a difference. These things make a difference.
Yeah, well, I just hope he goes with the top knot.
Yeah,
fine.
Just got to go into a little samurai mode and then just karate chop the top order of Sunrisers Hyderabad. Can they do it, Michael?
I don't think they can. No,
it's just too many.
I just don't see enough of their middle order in form, and I can't see how you chase this target down with your top 3.
Yeah.
Of which one of the top 3 is really not in great form in Alex Hales. So I just feel that this RCB train has just started to get another carriage, and it's just getting a little bit stronger.
They've taken another pile of coal and put it into that little steam engine.
It's going a bit quicker.
Choo-choo train coming at you. All right, so we're going to go right now. You've heard the call over here. So we're going to, should I just ask you guys how many they're going to fall short by? Come on, let's make it spicy.
No, I haven't got a clue, but I will say I think...
You're getting it right, Simon. Come on, you can do this.
Chahal?
Yeah.
3 for 25.
Chahal, 3 for 25.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Nice.
I think they'll get 181.
181, 3 for 25. Excellent. I'm going to say that the water in the stadium is going to run out by 11:15. I'll see you in 90 minutes. Bye-bye.